What's up, readers and shakers? It is your girl, Rhonda M Lawson, and we are back for another version of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And tonight I am so happy to be joined by Dr. Scharmaine Baker, and later on in the broadcast we're going to be joined by Malena Crawford. Both women are excellent authors in their own rights. They're doing major things in the literary industry. But first we want to start off with Dr. Scharmaine Baker. And you see my little friend here who's hanging out on the microphone. This is Nola the Nurse. So she's going to tell you all about Nola the Nurse. But before we get to her, Scharmaine, Dr. Baker has actually been honored with what we call the Oscar of the nursing industry.
Yes, I am a new fellow of the American Academy of Nursing,
Awesome.
Or FAN, as many will call it. It is one of the highest honors that any nurse can get, and it is an extreme honor to receive this award. We just found out a few weeks ago, and the announcement came out from the Academy on Monday.
So when you said you had a major announcement, so you already knew what was happening, you just weren't allowed to say anything yet.
Correct. I just like to throw out little teasers.
Nothing wrong
part
with
of the
that.
marketing that I actually didn't learn officially. I just kind of learned it on my own.
You're
You
right.
got to send out teasers. So I sent out a teaser saying, I've got a big announcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be like me. When I was trying to announce this show and I kept saying I have a big announcement, people were messaging me, just tell us the announcement already.
I know already.
So, what do you have to do to get such an honor? Is this something that you apply for, or do they look at your body of work?
Yes. Good question. And I got a lot of questions about that because people were getting confused because I'm also another fellow of the American Academy. Fellow of the American Association of Nurse Practitioners, or FAANP, and I received that fellow back in 2012. And that particular fellowship is specific to nurse practitioners, or the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. And to answer your question, yes, you have to do things. Your body of work has to show a positive trajectory over the years as far as the things that you've contributed to the world of nursing, your impact, so to speak, of what you've done in the nursing world. So that along with two wonderful sponsors, are you have to have the sponsors, and of course your body of work that will get you the award.
That is awesome. So, I mean, you had to have been doing a lot in order to get that. And I know I had mentioned, whenever I tell people about you, I always talk about how after Katrina, you were one of the nurses who actually stayed here and helped low-income and elderly patients.
Yes, and you're right. After Hurricane Katrina, which was, as we know, many years ago now, it seems like yesterday in some areas that are still affected, of course, by the storm. But back in 2005, in October of 2005, actually, I came back to the area, and I had a house call practice, and in which, as a nurse practitioner, I'm able to go out and become a primary care provider, which is assessing, diagnosing, and treating, much like a regular PCP. But I was actually doing these tasks in the home. And my patient load or volume grew from 100 just prior to the storm in July to December or October when I returned. It was quickly rose to over 500 patients.
Wow.
Many of them homebound, unable to get out, and just really at that point looking for any type of health care they could receive, looking for the medications to be refilled, just looking for the assistance. And I was fortunate and blessed to be in a position where I was able to come back and use those skills that I had learned, in becoming a nurse practitioner to provide for my community.
That is awesome. I know that had to have gotten a little overwhelming at times.
It was, especially when I would go in certain areas that were literally, you could still see the water still standing. You had all kinds of bugs and all kinds of things that you would probably normally see in certain homes, but it was at another level because the area had just been totally devastated, by the world's, at that point, worst natural disaster. Mm-hmm. So there was that. There was, other incidents of violence, of course, going on. You would see the National Guard, in their big Hummer trucks and yes. guns, rolling down the streets.
Which
and
I'm sure was a scary sight for a lot of
people. It was something that I will absolutely never, ever forget. And some of the areas, again, are still devastated in some of the areas of the city in the lower 9. You can still kind of go in some of those areas and see where the homes are no longer there at all. You just see the stairs and the home is gone.
Yes, that actually was the case for my childhood home. My grandparents lived on the corner of Caffin and Prayer.
Oh, yeah.
And I lived with them for quite a while. I actually graduated from high school still living with them. Uh-huh. And I went back to that area about a month or so ago, and the house was totally washed away.
Sure.
And as you said, the only thing there was the steps.
Stairs, yeah.
But now that's all gone, and they've built some, I'm not even sure what it is, some type of sitting area, nature type thing on top of it. So,
okay.
I mean, I guess in a way it's good that nobody else is going to live on that property.
Sure.
Right. But they just changed it into a place, I guess, where you can reflect.
Right.
Yeah. So, do you keep in touch with any of the patients that you treated back in those
I
days?
still do. I still have some patients in my house call practice, even though at this point it's sort of evolved in that I still make house calls, but not as many as I used to because I have other things going on, and we'll get into that later. Yes. But I still have a few patients that are now mainly located in assisted living facilities, and really just a handful, if you will, of patients that are actually in the residence in the homes in the area in New Orleans. And again, most of my patients are pretty much now focused into the assisted living facilities.
I see. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned house calls. You actually teach a course, so to speak, on house calls practice.
I do, and in fact, and that was a part of me winning the award, is that when you actually set out and I guess, develop a business, you need to, at some point, replicate it and get other people doing the same thing that you do. So I started the house call practice, or the house call course, back in 2008, whereas I teach nurse practitioners and other clinicians from all over the world who come here to NOLA and they come over 2 days and they learn how to set up from scratch a house call practice and how to sustain a house call practice, because we all know as business owners, it's one thing to start a business. It's another thing to maintain it.
Yes.
So I not only teach them how to start it, but I teach them how to maintain it. And it's called the House Call Course. And to date, we've taught over 400 clinicians from across America.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, do people just kind of individually ask you, or is this with the hospital? Or?
Well, yeah, I get, that's a good question. I get all kinds of ways people contact me. They email me or they will send me a request on my drbakernp.com website, or they can also take online courses. I have a whole online section, whereas if they don't want to come to New Orleans, and I can't understand why they would want to come to New Orleans.
Why wouldn't you want to come here?
For whatever reason, if you don't want to come to New Orleans and have gumbo with me, you can take the course online, or you can buy the book. I have the book. It's in print. It's online. And I also do consultations as well. So I've sort of covered all bases, whereas, if you don't want to come to New Orleans, again, for whatever reason, you don't want to come, can't come, then, you can take the online course, or you can buy the book, or you can call me and we can do a phone consultation.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Mm-hmm. So you are a busy woman. So
bee.
So you're still maintaining your house calls practice.
I am.
You're teaching the house calls course.
I am.
And you have this awesome line book line, Nola the Nurse.
Yes.
So tell us about Nola the Nurse.
Nola the Nurse, and as you can see, she's hanging out there over on the mic. Nola the Nurse is a story about a 7-year-old little girl who wants to be a nurse practitioner like her mom. And I need to tell you, I guess, from the beginning, how I got started. And, I didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to do this whole line of children's book stories for children. What happened was when my daughter was born, I was looking to build her library. And I wanted to include books about advanced practice nurses, which is your nurse practitioner, your midwife, or your CRNA, your certified registered nurse anesthetist. So I wanted to have books that showed her what mommy's field looked like, or what an advanced practice nurse was. So I couldn't find it. There were no books out there that addressed the role of these advanced clinicians. So I said, well, I guess I'm gonna have to write the book series. Of course, right? Okay, of course,
don't
right?
Complain about
if you
it,
don't
do
see the book, write the book, right? I can't remember who said that, but I love that quote. So I said, and it needs to be totally Nola, right? Totally Nola. So I said, you know what? It needs to be Nola the Nurse. So came up with it, and I have a really good trademark attorney, and she trademarked it and started writing the books. And so again, she is a 7-year-old girl who wants to be a nurse practitioner like her mom. And so what she does is she sees her mom and goes with her mom on house calls. Of course, it's loosely based on my life. So she goes on these house calls and she says, you know what, I want to be a nurse practitioner when I grow up. So what she decides to do is she goes and she rides on her bike to her friends' homes to take care of their baby dolls.
And these would be the friends?
The friends. And her friends happen to be other advanced practice nurses. And they all have these special powers and these special things that they do, which will come out in later series. But for now, what Nola does is, and what's interesting is that she goes to the homes, and if any of you travel to different people's homes, of course you do, you notice the first thing is that every home has a different culture.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring out cultural sensitivity in the stories. So each home visits a friend from a different country. So the first country that she visits is her friend from Kenya.
Okay.
And so Nola gets to take care of the dolls. She gets to learn about Kenya. And then in that particular book, as in all the books, whatever country is represented, you get to have a authentic meal from that country.
Nice.
And the recipe is at the end of the book.
Yes.
Okay, because you know we gotta eat, right? So it's like every time you go to someone's home, it is. It's healing and spiritual. It is, and it's so true to form of a house call clinician, because when you go to these homes, the first thing they want to do is say, "Honey, sit down and get some tea."
Exactly.
Oh, honey, come on. You want to try my gumbo? And they don't want to hear about their blood pressure. They want you to try gumbo first.
Right,
So my thing is, I say we've got to make it real life, and that's what it's like to be a house call or a home health clinician or nurse. You go to the homes, you provide the care, but at the same time, it's a spiritual thing. It's a connection. They become your family. So it's not just about the healthcare, it's about treating the mind, the soul, and the body, and that's what nurse practitioners do as well.
And that's awesome. So we're going to go ahead on that note, take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Nola the Nurse, when this got started, and where she's heading next.
Oh, yes.
All right. So we'll be right back.
Soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Orleans Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mom cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Orleans Connection restaurant, located at the corner of Charters and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
NOTN, that's right.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions, and it's just down home good. Call ahead to order in advance. 504-348-3080. That's 504-348-3080.
Join us every Tuesday
And
at
let Larry
11
know that you heard
a.m.
about Wags on the New Orleans Talk Network.
12 noon
Wags Food and
on
Culture,
New
1601
Orleans
Plaza
Talk
Drive in
Network. As we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
On the New Orleans
New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide, that's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network. The New Orleans Talk Network. Our listenership is growing leaps and bounds.
Okay, and we are back. This is Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am joined in the studio tonight by Dr. Scharmaine Lawson Baker. Looking fabulous. I mean,
thank you.
I don't know. If I were like some sick person and then this beauty queen walks in and talks about I'm here to take care of you. If I was the wife, I'd be like, no, you're not taking care of my husband.
That's my man.
Exactly. But no, but let's get back to Nola the Nurse, because I'm just totally in love with this whole series. I mean, just what you're doing, and it's not just storybooks, but you also have coloring books, activity books, and so I'm guessing this just started with the one book. How did you make it grow?
Actually,
when did you get started, and then?
Sure. I started writing the books. Well, my daughter is now 7.
Okay.
So I started writing them when she was about 2.5, somewhere in there. Okay. And it's a total of 6 books in the series. Right now, 2 of them are out. And Nola the Nurse Remembers Hurricane Katrina is one that we just sort of broke the series with, because this one was really written as a special edition. And it was written to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. So it explains on a children's level sort of what happened with the storm, how people evacuated, and how Dr. Baker and another nurse practitioner came back to the city and took care of the broken baby dolls. So it talks to them on a kid level as far as what happened with the storm and the mud and everything, as far as the nurse practitioners having to come back to save the world.
There you go.
There you go, because nurse practitioners do that, right?
Yes, you do.
So after those were written, like I said, there are 3 more books that are written, and they're visiting other countries. So they haven't actually been developed yet because I'm working on developing the other characters like the CRNA and also developing the midwife as far as their roles. We have the characters out. It's Charo the CRNA, it's Maddie the midwife, and we have our wonderful male Bax the nurse. Yes, we do have a boy in this series.
And I think that is very important because people still don't believe that men can be nurses.
Absolutely.
And when they want to find somebody to depict the nurse, the first thing they think of is a woman, and they forget that men can be nurses as well.
And they are wonderful, fine nurses. Yes, and yes, they are.
So where do you plan to go from here? We have the books, we have the
coloring
activity books, the coloring books.
Yes.
Where are we going?
I'm hoping, and you know what? I'm just going to, as my grandma said, speak it into existence. I am hoping and pushing, looking for a TV series for this being a project, and we're looking at making that happen. And for now, what we're doing is, of course, selling. But the other part of the program is, and I'm not sure if everyone knows this, is that we go to inner city schools and other schools who will any school that will have us with a huge life-size mascot of Nola. Yes, she's about maybe 6 feet tall, mascot with a huge afro. Of course, afros are important,
just like her.
Of course. And we go to schools, and I read the stories, but also let them know. I do a really nice question and answer session with the kids to let them know what advanced practice nurses do, because I want nursing to be more a part of the STEM conversation.
Yes.
Right now, when you say STEM, people say, okay, yes, science, technology, engineering, math. Okay, so there's the engineers and there are the mathematicians. Okay, but what about the S part?
Yeah.
Those are your scientists. And so often I'm not hearing that ringing enough in my ear, the bell or the buzz of nurses are a part of the STEM conversation we need to be.
Yes.
We take a lot of science courses, especially advanced practice nurses. I mean, you CRNAs, midwives, nurse practitioners, we all take these science courses, but somehow we're getting left out of the STEM conversation. And I'm not sure why, but I'm here to make that change.
So you have a mission.
I'm on a mission.
This is not just a mission to get kids to pursue STEM-related fields. This is a mission to let people know that science is a viable part of the STEM conversation.
It is. And I want kids, particularly younger kids, because there's nothing out there for them before this came out. I want them to know that aspiring to be an advanced practice nurse is something very doable. They can do that. They need to be able to say nurse practitioner, CRNA. They need to be able to say midwife, know what they do at 4 and 5.
Yes.
And why is that not the case? And so I think that if we start the language young, start them to know young what a nurse practitioner, can they at least say the terms? Let's start there. We can't say, they'll actually know what we do, but can they at least start getting familiarized with the terms at a younger age? So then by the time they're in, say maybe 4th or 5th grade, they can raise their hand for career day and say, I want to be a nurse practitioner. I want to be a CRNA. Yes. I want to be a midwife. This needs to be a part of their language early on. So when they get to high school, past elementary, they can say, I'm going to the next nurse practitioner school. I want to do that. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be another profession, but I'm here to market and to trumpet my profession.
Yes. And
right?
I'm never going to forget when we went over back in February when we went to St. Mary's Academy.
Yes.
And you said that you were a nurse practitioner and that you wrote books to encourage kids to go into the STEM-related fields. Their eyes just lit up.
Right.
Everybody just flocked towards you. So I think the excitement is there. We just need to keep it going.
It is there. We need to keep the buzz going, and we need to keep nursing as a part of that conversation. Again, because you so often hear about your engineers, your mathematicians. Of course, thanks for Hidden Figures. Of course, bless them. But there are other careers that are, attractive. And, we are a viable part of the healthcare team, and we just need to get that word out there a little more.
Absolutely. So you have a really big opportunity to get the word out there this weekend.
I do. I am blessed to be a part of the New Orleans Literary Takeover, which is being sponsored, of course, by Meet the World. Of course, Miss Rhonda Lawson has been doing an awesome job with getting the word out there, and I just really want to commend you for making literacy the top of the list here, and for having all of us authors a part of this takeover. It's not just myself; it is 7 other authors, and everybody. It's all diverse. It's not just about children's books.
Right.
It's about there's a cooking book, and there is another a male actually.
We have a male who writes a Christian book. We have a couple of life coaches who are going to be out there.
Awesome.
And then, of course, we have Victoria and Rashonda. Whatever they touch is going to turn
it's
to
gold.
gold.
Of course.
So and then we have Fistful of Honey by Melina Crawford.
yes.
We're going to be talking to her a little bit later in the show. But she's going to be talking about she went from homelessness to being a 6-figure earner.
Yes. Wow. I can't wait to meet her.
Yes. I think this is just going to be awesome. And I think the biggest thing is I want to let people know is just because people who are in the New Orleans Literary Takeover may not be household names. They're not household names yet. And it takes us supporting all of these authors to get them where they need to be.
Yes.
I mean, this right here, this deserves to be out there. Every child should have this on their
I think every child
bookshelf.
should. I think every child should have. And as far as a price point, the lowest activity book is $8.99, and that's only 50 pages. And then I have one that's 450 pages.
Wow.
But it's a workbook, and it's $14, $15, and then we have the doll. And a lot of people say, well, what age range is this for? So I say, I started reading it to my son, when he was 3,
Yes.
so you can start there. But for them to actually start retaining and getting an idea of what's going on with the story, start at 4 and go to about the age of 7.
Now tell me something. I know you mentioned you have your big 6-foot
I do,
doll.
the mascot.
How do you bring this doll together with the books? How do you partner these up?
Well, when I go and I do my sales events, I usually or speaking tours, I have the book and I have the doll. And most people really would like to buy the two. They want the book and the doll. So I'm going to have some dolls on the Literary Takeover tour. I will have some dolls with me as well because the books have actually been selling. I posted something on Facebook and said, I'm running low on inventory, and I didn't expect that to happen. And that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing.
That's a good thing to happen. But I will have some books and dolls, and so you can buy them together as a package deal, or you can just get the book, or you can just get the doll alone. And everything is on the website nolathenurse.com or on Amazon.
Okay, that's nolathenurse.com. So keep that in mind. And I cannot believe that our time is up already.
I can't believe it.
No, it went too fast.
That means I've got to come back.
Yes, that means you have to come back. We might have to do a special show just dedicated
I'm here.
to the STEM fields. What do you think?
I think you're onto something, as usual.
So everybody come out. I know we're not finished with this conversation. We don't have to stop this conversation. Come out tomorrow night to the Drink Lab.
Drink Lab Nola.
Yes, to the Drink Lab Nola over on 343 Barone Street, and come meet Sharon. I'm sorry. Come meet Scharmaine.
You called me out of my name. We're on live.
But Sharon's gonna be there too. Okay.
Are you saying Sharon because you share the same birthday?
That's true.
Okay,
That's
true.
true.
I'll let you go on that one. I'll let you go. And then there's I can't say there's an S because she spells her name with a C.
Yeah.
So, but Sharon, Scharmaine. Okay. All right. Okay, kind of, sort of.
See?
All right.
It's the
What do you guys
sound.
think? Maybe. All right.
Okay, so come meet Scharmaine.
Yes.
Dr. Baker.
Well, I'll be
whatever you
Scharmaine
want to
tomorrow
call
night
her.
at the Drink Lab. No, I'll be Scharmaine. No white jacket, no stethoscope.
I saw you say you might have a little something.
Oh, yeah. I don't drink. I can't because, well, anyway.
Yeah.
But let's just say, no white jacket, no stethoscope. I'll be Scharmaine tomorrow.
She's going to be diva. That's what she's going to be doing. So come on out tomorrow night. Come meet her, and then come out to all of the events.
Yes.
One or all of the events. We're going to have 5 different events throughout the weekend, starting with the Drink Lab Nola, moving into the Community Book Center, then moving into Second Vine Wine, and then moving into 14 parishes. Can't wait for that one.
I know. I'm pretty excited.
And then we're going to end it over at the
Riverwalk.
Yes. This is going to be an awesome, awesome time, and we really want to see you there. So,
all right.
Thank you. Scharmaine.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
Amazing.
Huggy loves, huggy loves.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
You wanted that phone, and the answer was no. You needed that car, and the answer was still no. Your family liked that apartment, but they said no again. They even turned you down for the job you were qualified for, all based on a bad credit report. Your credit can be restored. Call Bethesda Community Development Corporation at 504-348-0132. Don't allow a bad credit report to hold you back any longer. Call BCDC at 504-348-0132.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Now, right now, New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Yo, this is Madman the Big Fan, one of the hosts from FanView on New Orleans Talk Network. Check us out on our new location, Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, this is not a sports talk show. This is a talk show about sports. Make sure to tune in.
This is the Reverend D. Dunn
and Charles Stewart.
We will be coming to you live every Monday, 11 to 12 noon. On New Orleans Talk Network, hosting a new show, A Church Without Walls. The church is us, and the church is you. We're a church with no boundaries. Stay as long as you want, leave when you want. Remember, every Monday, 11 to 12 noon, tune into A Church with No Walls.
Don't you dare miss it.
Hi, this is Jill Samuel with Faith That Works. Join us today as we allow the Word of God to change the lives of people by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world. I want to personally thank you for spending this hour with me and the body of Christ. Join us on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network. Your encouraging coach, Miss Jill.
Are you looking for an alternative to conservative? Real Brother Radio is now on New Orleans Talk Network every day, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network. We provide the topics, you provide the conversation.
Are back. I hope you all enjoyed the first part of the show. Now we're going to move into the second part of the show we have highlighted just about every author who's going to be a part of the New Orleans Literary Takeover. So now all we have left to bring it all together is Miss Malena Crawford. She is the author of a really great book that I'm really looking forward to purchasing on this weekend. It's called A Fistful of Honey. And just hearing her story is just going to be inspiring enough. I mean, she went from being homeless to being a more than six-figure earner. And I think we just lost her, so she's going to be back in just a second. So I'm just going to keep on talking. Okay, so as I said, she went from being homeless to being a six-figure earner, which is awesome. I know some people probably thought that Pursuit of Happiness, that movie, was just kind of I mean, it was a true story, but you probably thought it was something that just can't happen to everyday people. But this actually did happen to her. And so I'm looking forward to talking with her about it and how she was able to make this happen and why she was inspired to share her story. And then we're also going to be talking about her visit to New Orleans for the New Orleans Literary Takeover. I think this is going to be probably her first time in New Orleans, but she is not a stranger to the game. She has been around for quite a while. She's been on Fox. She's been on so many other networks telling her story. So it's going to be interesting to hear what she has to say. So if you have not done so already, please go ahead and share the link to the video so other people can hear this story as well. Go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of the show so far. And then if you are a friend of Melina, post maybe some questions that you'd like us to ask her. You can also call in at area code 504-341-8255. Or you can download the app. We do have an app. It's the New Orleans Talk Network app. And it seems like we're still having some issues getting her back. So I think we're going to take a quick break and then try to get her back on here.
Hi, this is Jill Samuel with Faith That Works. Join us today as we allow the Word of God to change the lives of people by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world. I want to personally thank you for spending this hour with me and the body of Christ. Join us on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network. Your encouraging coach, Miss Jill.
Hello and congratulations. You have arrived at the second half. I'm your host, Cinder Coleman Miller. Connect with us every Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network as we discuss issues pertaining to the most exciting and prolific generation of our times, the baby boomers. So for information, resources, and booming entertainment, meet us at the second half, brought to you by the Boomers Lifestyle Network.
I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden.
Good morning to you. I'm Bishop Carol Dufour Sr., and this is my wife, Pastor Charmaine Dufour, who is Living Witnesses Ministries. We're coming to you from the New Orleans Talk Network.
We will be coming live to you every Wednesday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time. The name of our program is Living by the Word Daily. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
are moments in life when we hesitate. Buying a home shouldn't be one. Markets are changing and interest rates are still low. Now is the time to move. At Rocksteady Realty, we are determined to find a home for you. We know the area, provide personal attention, and more convenience. For all your residential and commercial needs, contact Willie Jones at Rocksteady Realty at 504-460-3819. Discover the Rocksteady difference.
You wanted that phone, and the answer was no. You needed that car, and the answer was still no. Your family liked that apartment, but they said no again. They even turned you down for that job you were qualified for, all based on a bad credit report. Your credit can be restored. Call Bethesda Community Development Corporation at 504-348-0132. Don't allow a bad credit report to hold you back any longer. Call BCDC at 504-348-0132.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Pauline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of
Okay, we are back, and unfortunately, we're still having some technical difficulties with Malena Crawford's feed. So, if there are any Melina fans out there who were expecting to see her tonight, we apologize, but there seems to be an issue with the Skype feed for tonight. But you can still come out on tomorrow night and meet her in person. She will be at the New Orleans Drink Lab, which is on the corner of, it's on 343 Barone Street. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Drink Lab, there downstairs is Victory, which is a really nice club. If you'd like to go there and have craft cocktails, it's a really nice place. But then if you go upstairs, there's an elevator that will take you upstairs, and that's where we're going to be. And we're going to have live music. The Brian Toval Quartet will be there. And we will have a bartender who will be serving free wine. We have red wine and white wine, and we also have food. And then every attendee will receive a gift bag and one autographed book from one of the authors. So this will be a great time to come out and kick back, get to know the authors before all the craziness of the other signings and Essence all starts. Come out and get to know the authors. Maybe ask some questions about the literary industry. Maybe get some autographs. This is the time to do that. So we really would love to see you there. Admission is only $50, and it includes everything I said: live band, free food, free music, and it looks like Melina is here. Melina? Okay, she's coming soon. We're working on it. She's almost there. So that is going to take place on Thursday. And on Friday, we're going over to Community Book Center. That will take place from noon until 3. And this is going to be a book signing and a discussion. So this is going to be the time where they're going to introduce themselves to you. You can ask them all the questions that you like. No wine, no free food. This is going to be a book signing and discussion. But we're going to have a great time anyway. And we're also going to have the New Orleans Talk Network there. So we'll be able to live stream it and, just get the word out, because we have got to support the Community Book Center. This is our last African-American owned and operated bookstore in the entire city. And if we don't support them, if we don't support ours, who else is going to support them? Who else is going to think that it's important? So it's very important that we're there for our local bookstores. And then following the Community Book Center at 3:30, we're going over to Second Vine Wine, where we're going to have a free wine tasting and book signing. So another great, great event. Melina?
Can everyone hear me?
Okay, there she is. Oh, I was so worried. I thought we were going to have to go the whole show without you.
All right.
Okay, so I told we're having a little bit of a feedback problem.
it still there?
You there, Melina? Okay, it looks like
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, there she is.
Let me call back in. Let me come out and call back.
Right, I think we're still having some feedback issues. Okay, so it looks like we lost her again. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but we're going to keep on rolling with the show. And again, like I said, I apologize for those fans who came out to support Melina. You can still come out and meet her face to face this weekend. And what I did not mention is the event on Thursday is a ticketed event. But on Friday and Saturday, we have two events on Friday, the Community Book Center and the Second Vine wine tasting. And then Saturday, we're going to have brunch from 11 to 2 at 14 Parishes Restaurant, and then followed by the Riverwalk. All of those events are absolutely free. So even if you're not able to make tomorrow night, come out and support the authors. Get to know Melina, Scharmaine, Sharon, Diana, Terry, Christina, Rashonda, and Victoria. That's right. See, I've been doing this for so long. I know all the names by heart, and I got them all. It's because I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. But as I said, we're going to have a great time. So come out, get to know the authors, support their books. Let's make them international successes, not just national. Let's make them international successes. Let's make them what we know that they can be. I mean, our newcomer, Terry Nelson, he's a newcomer to the game, but he's been out there supporting people for a very long time, and I would love for us to be able to return that and to support him. Let's make him big. Let's not make this just his last book. Let's make this the launching pad book to where we can launch him to bigger and better things. And then they'll maybe he can probably get on Victoria and Rashonda's status, who have like 100 books between them. I mean, I think that's great. I mean, I know as an author, I was an author at one time. I was an author at one time. Right now, I'm just a publicist. Not just a publicist. I think I'm a pretty good publicist. But as a publicist or as an author, I know what it's like to go out there and you're wanting the support and you're not able to get the support. So that's why I think it's important that we come out there and support all of our authors. Okay, so my producer just came and slid me something, but I don't. Okay. All right. I am totally tripping right now, but that's okay. We're just going to keep on moving on. So now the New Orleans Literary Takeover isn't the only literary event happening this weekend. We also have MBP Publications, who will also be out over at the Riverwalk all weekend, and they are also bringing a number of best-selling authors and TV stars. So this is a great time to meet more than 40 authors all in one place. So come out, get some books signed. Yes, enjoy the concerts, enjoy the empowerment seminars, enjoy the business seminars. I really wish I could make that. I was talking with Desiree Young. She will be out at Essence doing a business seminar on Saturday. I wish I could be there, but she is excellent and she's a great speaker. So that's something else that you might want to come out and support. And then on Sunday, anybody going to the concert? I know I'm planning on going to the concert on Sunday because the whole event will be over with and I can finally kick back and relax and do my thing. So I'm going to move over to the live feed and see if anybody has any questions. Somebody was asking when the event is, and as I mentioned, the event The first event, the meet and greet, will be at the Drink Lab from 7 to 10. And then on Friday, we move over to Community Book Center from noon to 3. And then we move over to Second Vine Wine for free wine tasting and book signing, and that will be from 3:30 to 6:30. And then we move over to Saturday, where we're going to 14 Parishes Restaurant. 14 Parishes is a great Jamaican restaurant, and we're going to have a live DJ doing old school music. We're going to have Tyresa Ty, who's going to be our celebrity hostess, and we are going to have $5 drink specials. So this is going to be a really fun event, and it's absolutely free to get in. We just want you to come and have brunch and enjoy the authors. And then we're going to end it all over at the Riverwalk from 3 to 7. And it looks like we are getting Melina back. She's going to call us, and so we'll at least get to say hello to her before the hour is up. Okay, it looks like we're getting her. So if you just give us one quick minute. Can we hear her?
All right, here's Melina.
Melina, we are having so many little issues right now, but I am so glad that you were able to still come in so we can hear a little something from you.
Absolutely.
So I was actually telling the audience earlier about your book, A Fistful of Honey. Would you mind telling us about it?
Absolutely. So A Fistful of Honey is a sci-fi slash urban fantasy slash magical realism piece. So it's got a lot of layers there. And it's a story about a woman who comes from absolute brokenness and darkness and into wholeness. It's kind of like a hero's journey, where she goes from really hating her skin tone, really hating herself, and trying to divorce herself from her life. And in order to save the world and save all of humanity, she had to walk into her divinity as a black woman. And so it's featured a really cool cast of characters. It's got Mary Magdalene in there, Oshun, who's a Yoruba goddess of love and wealth. Jesus is in there, Isis. So, it's a multi-layered book. It's a book that a lot are calling a must-read, from Black Girl Nerds to the Yama Van Zant. And it's really a book it's got a lot of entertainment, but it's really a book of healing and reconciling when it comes to family issues, when it comes to self-love and self-acceptance, as well as what's going on in our world today as far as police brutality and the political climate that we're in. So
it sounds like you're attacking a lot of issues, a lot of different issues. Yeah. What made you decide to do this from a fantasy point of view?
Well, a lot of the elements in it, it just really wasn't nonfiction. So a lot of what came to me, it had to be written in a fantasy form. In this book, Alina Ford, the main character, she's going in and out of spiritual realms. So, it just, for me, it was just the way that the way that the story came to me was, it's real for me, but it's definitely fantastical
right.
for the mainstream. Mm-hmm.
That sounds really interesting. There aren't a lot of African American fantasy authors now.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this isn't pure fantasy. A lot of it is drama. So people have compared it. They call it like an Octavia Butler, kind of like a parable of the sower mixed with Alice Walker, if you can imagine that.
That sounds interesting.
It's definitely got a lot of drama, but it's also, has these mythical Afro mysticism elements to it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said that, a lot of these stories are true to you. And you, if you go to your website, you mentioned how you went from being homeless to being a six-figure earner. And for some people, the closest they saw something like this was watching Pursuit of Happiness years ago. And you actually had your own Pursuit of Happiness.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me about that? Can you walk us through that?
Sure. Actually, my father reminds me a lot of the character that Will Smith played. My father really was robbed of his dreams, which is why we found ourselves in poverty. So the determination and the dream that my dad had, even though his dream was kind of deferred, it carried on to me. It was really deeply planted in me that I was going to live a different life, that I was going to live a victorious life, no matter what, and definitely no matter how anyone saw me. My father, my mother taught us that we define ourselves, and that's it. No stereotype, no, pity, none of that matters. Is we define ourselves, and we define ourselves with God in mind, what God says about us. So that's really the idea that I had growing up of myself. And I had to defy a lot, I had to defy a lot of my own self-hatred, the shame I felt being a homeless kid, a homeless adolescent, and really come to the notion and the truth that life has happened for me, not against me, that life is really for me. And so that's what brought me to my pursuit of happiness, knowing that this life is a good life and that God is for us. And just knowing that God has dreamed a bigger dream for me than I could ever imagine, and working towards that every single day.
That's awesome. Now, is this something that you came to realize on your own? Did you get encouragement from people along the way? Did your dad talk to you a lot? How did you come to this way of thinking?
Oh, my goodness. I have been blessed with the most amazing spiritual teachers ever. So one of them, of course, is my father. Even in the ways that I received him negatively, he is an exceptional life teacher to me. Yama Van Zant is one of the spiritual mothers that I look toward. Just so much wisdom there.
And she actually wrote the foreword to your book.
She said personally to me, which I lead my life by, is you are not a victim.
Yes.
And this is after I boo-hooed about everything I had gone through at that point, everything people had done to me. And she said with just straight face, you are not a victim, and she had no pity for me whatsoever. And it really changed my life, and it really awakened me to the fact that I am responsible for my life, for everything in it, and for everything that it will become, that I will create while, I have this gift called life. And so that just, it just turned me to a path of acknowledgement, being curious about life and curious about, why God did allow me to go through what I went through as a young person and then a young adult, why I made the choices that I did to have, the life experiences that I was having. So it's been pastors of mine, Reverend Bazemore, actually, he's in Maryland. He's been instrumental, very heavy in metaphysics and Christianity, and giving me the space to delve into different aspects of spirituality,
I got it.
I have been blessed with amazing teachers. My mother, my grandmother, and I think everyone in our lives are teachers. Every single person that enters our life
All we have to do is just be open to listen, correct?
Absolutely. You know, whether good or bad, they're teaching us something very, very critical about who we are.
Yes. So tell me, how did you come to know Iyanla Vanzant? Because you two have gotten pretty close to where she was actually able to write the foreword to your book.
I've been in the Iyanla groupie for many, many years. She was a mother in my head for many years before I had the courage to actually reach out to her. So I had read all of her books. I had just studied everything that she was saying. And so, one day I just went ahead and took some of the teachings that she offers. So she has a school, it's called Inner Vision, based in Maryland, but I believe now you can take classes online. And it was a life-changing experience for me to get the training.
Well, that's wonderful.
Life coaching.
That's a life-changing experience anyway, that you were brave enough to just reach out to someone who you saw on a certain level. And you took it upon yourself to reach out to her and ask her for this, and she responded. I mean, I think that takes a lot of bravery.
Yeah, thank you. So I felt like at that point, Spirit had given me, I do believe that God speaks to us directly. Spirit speaks to us directly, and I feel that the story of Fistful of Honey was given to me directly to share with the world. And so I just felt like it was so important and so profound, the healing that I got out of it, being the vessel for it, that I felt like, she will really, really appreciate and enjoy this. So if she says no, I mean, I'll just get back up, take the L, and dust my knees off, And if she says yes, I will be floored. And so I was just blessed with a yes.
Wonderful. So now you're coming to New Orleans tomorrow for the New Orleans Literary Takeover. Is this going to be your first visit to New Orleans, or have you been here before?
I have been in New Orleans a couple of times, but usually just passing through.
Okay,
so I'm really, really excited. I have a 6 o'clock flight tomorrow morning.
Oh, you're getting here early.
Early, so I can see everything New Orleans has to offer. So I'm just so very excited for it.
Wonderful.
The food especially.
Well, we can't wait to have you here. Really, really looking forward to meeting you. And I'm quite sure that your fans are looking forward to meeting you out here as well.
Thank you, yes. And I can't wait to meet them all. Everyone, come out. Come out.
Yes. So, just continue inviting people out. This is going to be a great event, and I'm so honored and happy that you're a part of it. And unfortunately, we had the issues early, but now it's time to end the interview. So we'll have to keep this going on tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so
and then on Friday we have the live stream over at the bookstore, so we can also maybe have a little bit of the conversation there as well.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, follow me at Malena Crawford, so you know where we're going to be, and I look forward to meeting you.
Wonderful. I look forward to meeting everybody here, and I'm looking forward to introducing Miss Malena Crawford to the world, to the New Orleans community. And I am just really excited that we are about to embark on the New Orleans Literary Takeover.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I want you to get some rest so you can make your flight in the morning. And you have my phone number, so let us know when you get here.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another edition of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. I am your hostess, Rhonda M Lawson, and I am so glad to have you here. And thank you for helping me complete my very first full month of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. We're going to have an even bigger edition next month when we go into July, and I want you to be here with me. So thank you, everybody. Y'all have a blessed night, and we will see you tomorrow at the New Orleans Drink Lab for the meet and greet. That's the New Orleans Literary Takeover meet and greet. Bye-bye.